didn't have this week.
Yes.
Oh, well, I never have him, but
Yeah.
it's busy at Download Festival.
He was at Download, ruining everyone else's day there.
Yeah.
I thought that was weird, that way.
I think he goes every year.
Oh, okay.
He has a bit of a, I don't know what the right word is, but he likes similar music to me, which is unfortunate because I didn't want to have anything in common with him.
Yeah.
But he does have a good taste in music, so I will give him that. But yeah, it's not much. Right, this will be the start of the podcast. Right,
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Yes. So we're going to talk about the Catalunya, Barcelona, not Spanish Grand Prix, I think, this year.
Yep.
That's
Isn't
the first
Spanish
ever
Grand-
Catalonia Grand Prix, yes. Apologies.
Yeah, because the Spanish one's in the other Spanish
Madrid.
city, Madrid, that's it.
Yeah.
Later in the year, and Monaco, obviously, which is a week prior, and BTCC from Oulton Park. So we've got a lot to get through, and not just crofty bashing. We've got a lot of actual work to do. So welcome, Tom, Nick. Was either of you at Download?
Nope.
No, I went to Le Mans and then Dublin.
Oh, yeah, of course you did.
How was Le Mans?
Really cool. I didn't see the race. I was there for practice and hyperpole in the hypercars, or as the French say, hyperpole, hypercar, which is amazing. Dorian Pan. They're going crazy over here because I think it's LMP2 time at the time. So the circuit commentary was hilarious. It was, stereotypically French. Love it. The cars are brilliant to watch live. I wonder what they're like in terms of speed compared to F1. Slower, but high downforce still, hybrid still. And then I watched some of the race bits. Some of it was on Quest on free to air, which was good in the UK, and YouTube highlights. It seemed like a really good addition. Not so much drama filled, but if you were following it, you weren't sure who was going to win throughout the race. There's like every car in that top class is really quick and competitive, even though there's lots of different sorts. And it was Toyota that won, and I was happy with that.
Kamui Kobayashi
Exactly, yeah.
with Nick De Vries, who we
Yeah.
know, and
2x
Mike,
F1.
Mike Conway, who we don't know, but well done to him.
Yes, and also Kobayashi is team principal as well these days. So
Oh, yes. I forgot about that.
yeah, really cool. And I like that because Toyota kept the series and the sport going in the top class for a number of years, where everyone else sort of fell away. Audi and Porsche, for example, withdrew, and it was just some privateer teams they were against. And then they were first to do this new hypercar rule set. And then as soon as everyone else arrived, they didn't win. Ferrari won 3 years in a row. So this year they won again, but also against the strongest grid in decades for Le Mans. So I just thought that was a good a just reward. But the event's crazy. The track is so big. It's it's big, but to walk it, I wasn't able to do it in the time I had. I was only able to watch the first chicane and then the Porsche curves towards the end of the lap. I saw a bit of racing at night though, which is always cool. Or practice at night. And Sebastian Bourdais bumped into him. That was quite cool. And just a great atmosphere. Anyway, sorry, this wasn't going to be part of the podcast. We should talk about Formula One.
That's fine. We cover all motorsport here. It's 8.5 miles long, the circuit. So it's a fair trek. Did we miss Indy 500 while we're off as well?
Yes, I think we
Yes, I think we did.
covered
Did we
NASCAR and Le Mans, and we don't think we covered IndyCar. But we normally do, don't we? A little bit.
Yeah. I didn't watch it this year, but it's just dawned on. Oh, it was ages ago. It was the end of May.
Oh, definitely missed it then.
Yeah.
Incredible ending.
Is it? I says I normally watch it and I didn't.
It might be the closest finished ever.
Right. Oh well.
Yeah, it was. It was 0.023 of a second. Felix Rosenqvist beat David Malukas, but I think the gap for third was even closer, which Scott McLaughlin got. So you should watch sort of at least the final 2 laps. It's peak motorsport in some respects.
Right, back to proper motorsport then. F1. We'll start with the Catalunya Barcelona Grand Prix. Ferrari have entered the chat, haven't they?
Yeah.
One of their drivers has caught up and could have won the race on pure speed, but ultimately won it with speed and a bit of fortune. Lewis Hamilton, first win in Ferrari, fairly spectacular day. Scotland won, then he won, and all the good guys won, basically.
Yeah.
So we'll probably start with Charles Leclerc binning it in qualifying,
Yeah, that
Two
was a
two
tricky one.
crashes in 2 weeks, which really undone his potential title tilt. Strange mistake, I thought.
Yeah, he was arguably the quicker of the two through practice as well and through early qualifying. But yeah, it was a apparently he was struggling with turn four quite a lot, but that was a very big mistake.
He, of course, after Monaco, where he crashed out there as well in the
Mm.
race, he threw his toys out the pram about his brakes, and
Yes.
he has switched to the same brakes as Lewis Hamilton.
Hmm.
And I did hear one of the pundits, can't remember which one, say that he kept trying to match Lewis's braking point into turn four.
Yeah.
Lewis was apparently braking much later than him, and he could never make it. And then
Mm.
that was the closest they got, and then obviously binned it. Which is, as you say, it was a strange on crash because it looked like he caught it and then had a second slide and
Mm.
just went completely.
He's just slightly into the grey, slightly offline, isn't he? I think the
Mm.
lack of grip there just caught him unawares. But that is a pivotal moment that another one of many that allowed Hamilton to ultimately take victory because it would have been really interesting should he Leclerc piece the lap together and maybe out qualified and put on pole. Having
Yeah.
said that, I thought Lewis has got his first lap was fairly average in the final part of
Hmm.
qualifying, but he pulled it together and came so close to pole, irrespective of
Yeah.
what Leclerc did. Really impressive to challenge the Mercedes, I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting because that, as Colin was saying, Leclerc was trying to match what Hamilton was doing, and supposedly Russell has stopped trying to match what Kimi's doing, and he's concentrating on his own now. He's ignoring Kimi's
Mm.
data and trying to do it his own way.
This has come out the weekend where Charles has signed a mega long
Oh
contract
yes.
extension, hasn't he? But the
Mm.
the the, the thing with Charles Leclerc is he'll be back.
Oh yeah.
You know, a couple of down races, but I think some people are getting too excited and saying Hamilton for the title. Hamilton, well, what if Leclerc rocks up at the next race and then
Yeah.
wins three in a row?
Don't steal my thunder, right?
Sorry.
Oh,
Hey, I was enjoying it. It was a good moment.
it was interesting to hear Charles Leclerc's interviews over the weekend because he was talking. Obviously, Ferrari brought like 8 updates to this race, like basically every part of the car they upgraded in some way. And it's interesting hearing Leclerc talk of the weekend that Ferrari are taking more and more risks, but they're confident in taking them because everything's kind of working together. And
Mm.
he was kind of putting it down to the influence of Hamilton, or it was taken as that way. He was kind of putting down the influence of Hamilton to keep pushing them in that direction because Lewis wasn't exactly happy last year, not being listened to. In every interview he's given recently, he's basically said, "Well, Ferrari's listening to me now." So that's quite an interesting change for them. But you're right, Nick. It looked like Russell had kind of nailed this one. He was
Mm.
pole, and he was about 3 tenths quicker than Antonelli. Switched to the race though, and his pace disappeared completely.
Yeah, that was bizarre. Especially later in the race. He had no pace at all.
Do you think so? Antonelli caught up. Didn't Antonelli get a slightly slow start as well?
No, not particularly.
Okay, take that
They
back.
got quite an even start.
Okay, but clearly through the race, as well, first stint was okay, but second stint on,
Mm.
Antonelli the pace, and I felt like in the middle, didn't he get close? And I felt like the team basically told him to calm it
But
down.
they did.
And I thought, ooh, is that the first sort of team order we've had yet? I mean, it was kind
Yeah.
of a thinly veiled one, I thought.
It was he basically got told to I can't remember the exact wording, but yeah, not to fight, to make sure that they keep ahead of Leclerc behind, I think it was at the time.
Yes, yes.
Um, so it was a thinly veiled message of just stop it,
Yeah.
wait till the
Well,
end.
Toto Wolff said in his post-race interview that those, because he did scrap for a little while, and two
Mm.
of the stints, Antonelli ultimately got past. Did he Toto Wolff said it probably cost him about 6 seconds,
Hmm.
which would have cost some track position in the race. So Hamilton went on a free stop, quite aggressive strategy, kind of forced Mercedes to basically, well, I say commit. Russell was under the impression he said that they'd switched to a free stop and then found out they were still doing a two stop, which
Yeah.
I imagine was a shock. But Hamilton going aggressive kept him in touch the full race. And it's the
Hmm.
first time that Mercedes have been challenged, and Lewis really lucked out with a VSC timing, but he still had the pace that he would have been at least with them
Oh
at
I
yeah.
certain
think
points in that last stint.
I think he could have still won it. Probably would have won it,
Hmm.
but you never know when you have to overtake a car if there's going to be an incident. So you can't really say that.
Yeah, he probably would have had to overtake three cars as well. I think they said it would have to have been Norris,
Norris.
Kimi, and George. But
Yeah.
the pace differential he seemed to have with the fresher tyres, he probably would have been able to do it.
I really enjoyed the race engineer radio to Hamilton. You could tell
Hmm.
he was like nervous, and when he comes out of the pit lane in the VSC, he goes, "Angelo in front!"
Yes,
It was amazing.
it was. And it was amazing to see Ferrari doing the right strategy calls.
Yes,
We're not used to
Absolute
that.
scenes.
yeah, it's maybe they really have got their act together. This will be
Mm.
incredible if they
No,
have.
nope, 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 nope.
Well, it was interesting again listening to our two favourite pundits post-race, Jack Villeneuve and Nico Rosberg on Sky. They were saying that Catalonia is a track that kind of resembles the next tranche of races pretty well. It kind of sets the precedent for what will come because they're all kind of similar, medium speed to high speed. And it's like, yeah, fair enough. They think if Ferrari, this is a genuine step forward, and they're going to be in amongst it.
I
Which,
mean, I like that because we want people to challenge Mercedes, right? But
yeah,
then
but
when are the next Mercedes upgrades due? It's always this thing
This
yes,
is
of,
true.
oh, they made this whole step forward, and everyone forgets. Oh yeah, but Mercedes is going to bring 16 updates to the next one.
It was interesting though that that's what they said because I read something. I think it was on the BBC website today where they do the Q&A every time after a race, and they said on there that the next three races are much more power sensitive and will not suit Ferrari.
Yeah, okay, well, let's see.
So yeah, we shall see with that one. But Ferrari get the chance to get more power, don't they now?
Ah, yes.
Um,
uh,
Potentially anyway.
is this going into next year or is this for this year?
No, no, they get hang on, what was it exactly? So Red Bull have been classed as or the Red Bull powertrain slash Ford is the best engine on the grid. That's the ICE part of the engine. And so therefore they are not allowed to upgrade their engine at the moment. Mercedes are deemed to be 2% adrift, which allows them one engine upgrade, I believe, this season, and one for next season. And all the other teams on the grid are classed as being 4% adrift, allowing them two upgrades this season.
A typical FIA to have such a weird acronym for it.
Oh, yes.
ADU, additional development
Additional,
and upgrade opportunities. Wow, what a
yeah,
weird.
I know. And they keep saying it when they're in interviews. Go, so a duo. And it's, oh, shut up.
ADU. And then also, this is kind of a form of BOP without it being BOP, isn't it?
Hmm.
In a way, I know it's slightly different, but it's a parity thing as opposed to BOP, I suppose. And then Hamilton has said multiple times that but we are lacking power or drivability or whatever it might be, or torque distribution. I don't know,
Mm.
something powertrain related. So maybe he was right.
Maybe. It'll be interesting though the next bunch of races. We've got Austria next, which you're right is probably
Mm.
quite a bit different. But then Britain, Belgium, they're all got quite fast, medium to high speed corners. So yeah, maybe apart from Austria, the next bunch are probably a bit similar to Catalonia. When is Austria? Next weekend?
I'm not actually sure.
Yes, 28th it will be. So that was the next one up.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, Russell after qualifying looked so positive, and then after
Mm.
the race, well, Antonelli had beaten him on pace, but his engine blew up. So that's the downside of Mercedes' quality powertrain system, is it seems to break every two races.
Yes, for
Uh,
McLaren as well.
Yeah,
yep,
that's true.
yep, they've got reliability issues, whereas the Ferraris look fairly bulletproof.
Well, now you've put the marker on it.
Mm.
Yeah, but you could tell Russell's face in the post-race interviews that
Oh,
it looked like it looked like somebody had just stole his carton of chocolate milk off him and then like pushed him over in the playground. It was like he's finally beaten Kimmy, but he knows he didn't do it on pace. Um, but Ferrari has now joined his party. I genuinely think he walked into the season thinking, I'm getting crowned champion at the end of the year, and this is going to be a bit of a scoosh.
Yeah,
And
easy.
I think I think they realised like he was 20 seconds behind Hamlin at the end of this. It wasn't even close. Like he
Yeah,
was trounced. So I think there is a bit of a realization from him there that this is not going to be easy.
Now, Kimi Antonelli was clearly much quicker in this race. Quite
hmm
eye-opening. That's going to be quite demoralising for George. However, he did receive a 5 second penalty for track limits. So, I mean, it did look like he had the pace on Russell, but would he have still finished ahead of him or behind? Well, I suppose we'll never know, but it might be that he might not have done.
I
Mm.
think he would have done because he seemed at the moment he passed Russell, he
I
was like
know.
a second ahead straight away.
Yeah, it was crazy, actually, wasn't
Um,
it? Yeah.
but we'll never know. But yeah, it was a weird penalty as well, wasn't it? Because they gave the penalty post race to someone who'd retired.
And then it doesn't carry to the next race.
No, so it's kind of like I think they're just acknowledging that they've missed the penalty that they should have done before they get moaned at.
And it was, was it McLaren that dobbed him in?
Yes.
Yes,
Speaking of McLaren, I've got to say that let's not sleep on Norris's performance.
Mm.
Didn't have the ultimate pace to challenge for victory, but he was very close to Russell throughout
yeah,
most of the race. To be in that mix, smashing Piastri, really, in this
yeah,
race, and last couple, and also, um, well, not maybe not specifically last couple, because I don't think Monaco went too well, did it? Because he retired, so it was hard to say. But
hmm,
generally speaking, recently, and he was in the mix to the point where he was annoying for strategy for Ferrari and Mercedes.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, for him to finish 4 seconds off a Mercedes, that is
It's good.
progress.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Elsewhere though, Alpine, they're kind of starting to find their feet again, and inevitably, the Fernando Alonso back to Alpine rumors are starting.
Yes, I've
Yes.
seen this. Oh dear.
Which
Uh,
it's just going to
Why?
be from now until the end of time, isn't it? As soon as that
pretty
team
much.
start to find a little bit of pace, Alonso's going to show up. He's going to take a bulldozer to it all, and then he's going to F off somebody else.
Yeah.
Now, I would understand if this one because Aston Martin are a joke. Like
hmm
they're so bad. He actually got out qualified by Stroll as well
He
for the
did.
first time in like three
Yes.
years. Like there can be no joy in Fernando's turn up to a race, can there?
Yeah. Turning up to his home race as well.
Mm. Do you think he's just going to chuck it at the end of the year, or do you think he will move on to another team?
Who would have
Well,
him?
going by my predictions, he'll be leaving before the end of the year.
Oh,
Yeah, I think this is it. This is the end.
But yeah, probably not. He'll probably. But yeah, I think this is his last season unless something miraculous comes up.
I just don't understand how Aston have got it so wrong.
Yeah.
Like nothing makes sense about it.
And they don't seem to be even able to upgrade anything of notoriety.
That's allegedly part of the plan. I'm not sure how much of a plan there actually is, but they don't want to waste their resources, is what's been said on small upgrades. They want to wait until they can do one big one.
That's all
Um,
well and good, but you've just
mm,
qualified a second behind Cadillac.
yeah,
Like, like you can say that's great and everything, but you've got big sponsors on that team. You've
mm,
got a big brand name. You've got a big name driver. Like, what is the point?
it is. And I think I was saying that they could put 2 seconds on that car just to catch up to the back of the midfield. And no one ever gains 2 seconds in one upgrade.
Yeah, well, let's look at it this way. If Alonso was 2 seconds quicker, he'd go from 22nd to 16th.
Yeah, he'd still
Whereas
be out in that.
if Sainz, Williams put 2 seconds on it, it'd be a second clear of pole.
Yeah.
That just shows you how far behind they are. Anything else other than Hulkenberg's car imploding over a bit of gravel?
Oh, that was just quite funny. How amazing, freakish that was because it hit the cutoffs, didn't
Yeah, it hit the cut-off switch on the side of the car and shut the car completely off.
it?
It's like
Yeah.
might want to move that button, lads.
Yes, exactly. Oh, and
Bizarre.
Albon's camera coming loose, which is nothing to do with the team.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Also, I apologize earlier. I got Antonelli start confused with Hadjar. He went backwards, didn't he, quite quickly?
Oh, yes.
Provided some entertainment though. And also, yeah, Alpine were really bad in qualifying, but I think did they do an alternative strategy? Did they do the Hamilton strategy to finish seventh and eighth? I can't remember now. But certainly they let Gasly past on Colapinto, even though there was like a couple of second gap.
Hmm.
Uh, some bit of team orders going on there.
Yeah, I mean, they're not impressive, Alpine,
Mm.
but you can say they're building their way to the front of the midfield,
Mm,
Yeah.
which is all they could have really hoped for this year, to be honest.
best of the rest.
And they're surprisingly close to each other as well. I
This is a crazy
expected
thing.
Gasly to be much quicker than Colapinto this year.
Yeah, Franco's kind of because I was writing him off quite a long time
Mm,
ago, and
no, he's
he's
doing all
he's
right.
he's starting to out qualify him, but and run pretty close to them in the race.
Mm.
Is he actually above Gasly? No, he's behind Gasly in the championship.
Well,
Gasly's
because
got 41.16, but yeah, fair enough.
before the podium in Monaco, it was the other way around.
Hmm.
Yes.
Well, right, but we go to Monaco then. Um, it was a pretty traditional Monaco, and it was unbearably boring until something crazy happened.
Yep.
So Antonelli won from pole, pretty much a scoosh.
Mm.
Twice you've
Until
used that word this podcast. I've got no idea what it means.
scoosh, it means easy.
And also, I think I was wrong about the Gasly Colapinto points. Proceed.
Okay,
Proceed.
so yes, it was pretty straightforward for Antonelli. The only thing he had to navigate was a second standing start, which was caused by, and it was a good thing you weren't watching the Sky coverage, Tom, because your head would have
Hmm.
exploded. Because
Yes.
the tarmac was breaking up at the final
Asphalt.
corner.
Mm.
They said tarmac about 47 times until I think someone maybe had from a legal department had a whisper in the ear, and then everyone tried to use asphalt, but they were tripping
Oh,
over
did it?
themselves, going ta asphalt.
Oh, really?
The
No way.
post-race
That
coverage.
happened. Ha
Well,
ha.
all through
Fantastic.
the commentary, they were like tarmac, tarmac, and then after the race, I noticed a couple of them going, asphalt. So yeah, there's
Yeah.
also been a quiet word going like, please stop using that word when you're talking about a track disintegrating.
Yes.
Um, yeah, so fairly straightforward. Qualifying wise, it looked like Verstappen was going to nick pole, but
Mm.
Antonelli just got ahead, and then at the race start, Verstappen's car also turned off and
Yeah,
wouldn't
that was a
go.
shame.
I mean, I still think Antonelli would have won, but it would have
Hmm.
been an interesting fight. Um,
Yes.
because that weekend it looked like Red Bull were closer to Mercedes than Ferrari were.
Hmm. Yeah.
But still, no one could overtake you. So what's the point?
No, it was interesting though that it was raised in commentary that nearly every other year at Monaco, someone gets out in front and then holds the pack up. Whereas this year,
Hmm.
Kimi got out in front and just buggered off.
It's such an easy race compared to everyone else.
Yeah. So it actually led to potential for strategy because there was gaps in the midfield. Not that much happened apart from Williams.
Uh,
Yeah. Well, Williams were messing about with and it did work on track until
Hmm.
it didn't work on track for them. Um,
One of the racing bulls on
Albot,
the radio said, they're not doing it like last year. I think it was Limbad.
Yeah.
And the answer was, yes, that's what they're doing.
yes. And it almost worked until Sainz got battered into by a few people at the restart.
Even before then,
Hmm.
Albon let someone through by accident and ran wide over the chicane and was having a big complaint about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so like the race result, I don't actually know what the race result is at the moment. So there was a bunch of penalties given for speed in the pit lane,
Hmm.
even though no one was actually speeding in the pit lane. Um, Turns out the way that they measure it is through an average speed. So they measure the time it takes you to trundle on the pit lane. And
Hmm.
because people were cutting it, or as Alpine have now claimed, the measurement was wrong. Everyone was getting 5 second penalties, which was uh, confusing, let's just say, on
Yeah.
during the race. And I feel sorry for someone like Piastri, who served his penalty in race, ended up finishing fifth,
Well,
Mm.
whereas someone like Pierre Gasly didn't serve his penalty after the race, finished third on the road, lost third position because his penalty was applied, and Alpine have appealed it and he's been reinstated to third.
for now.
Whereas George Russell made a complete and utter arse of trying to serve a penalty, and
Yes.
Piastri did serve a penalty, and both of those probably lost a podium for doing so.
This is why it cannot be reversed, in my opinion, because other people have served it already in the race.
Hmm.
And you
Yeah.
can't just say, I know it was after the fact, so it's slightly different. But other drivers have been impeded and their race has completely changed because of the same error.
Hmm.
So this is why McLaren has lodged an official appeal.
Yes, and Mercedes.
And Mercedes, all right, yeah, there you go.
Hmm.
I don't,
Toto said that they have. Toto's also said he doesn't expect anything to come from it, but they have to try.
yeah,
But
I agree.
the Russell one would be tricky because he got a second penalty for not serving his five
Mhm.
second
Oh,
properly.
I don't think they can do anything to Russell's results, but I think
No,
they can appeal the fact that Gaz has been overturned.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's why I would do the same.
but yeah, they are appealing, trying to get Russell's penalties annulled, but
Right, well, that's
they,
impossible.
they cannot do that.
No.
Um, it's a hard one with Gasly because yeah, the penalties aren't correct. He didn't serve them, so they can be removed. But then, if you're going to remove one penalty, you've got to remove them all,
Yep,
which you
yep,
can't do because they've been served.
correct. So we move on.
Mm. Or just null the whole race. No one gets any points, which is not a good outcome for anyone. But that's the only other opportunity they'd have to resolve it.
Hmm. Yeah, they've dug themselves a slight hole.
Hmm.
But it's exposed an issue in the rules, which Piastri has been speaking about in his interviews. Is like, why would we ever serve a penalty that we think's contentious now?
Hmm.
No one will serve it,
Yeah.
because if we can just appeal it post race, though that falls over if you do a pit stop because then you get George Russelled and you get a drive through.
Yes.
Um, but I see his point. If you've got 5 seconds with the last 20 laps to go, and
Yeah.
just don't serve it.
No,
Which
I agree with that.
to be fair, they don't have to if they're not pitting, but still. I mean, where do
Yeah.
you take it? Do you just not do bother coming in for a drive-through and hope it goes away?
Yeah. Driver is a bit more difficult, isn't it? Because the penalty itself is to come in, whereas a time penalty can be removed from your time. But yeah, I
Yeah,
don't really
but
know.
if you just ignore it and then get overturned.
Mm.
I did enjoy seeing the videos of the Alpine guys, you know, with the trundly wheel things that measure,
I
which
saw that.
I haven't seen
Yes.
since school.
Hmm.
The what those I was like, where did you have those? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently the data submitted was a LiDAR scan, like a laser scan. I don't know how they got
Hmm.
someone to laser scan it, hire a drone or something on the night. Crazy.
someone from
Yeah.
Codemasters has
Yes.
obviously
That's
Yeah.
slipped
what I
on
was
something.
thinking. It's yeah, the whole thing was caused, they said, by Cadillac, not outwardly, but because they had an 11th grid, so
Mm,
pit stop, pit garage. I'll get my words right in a minute. That allowed them to cut the corner ever so slightly because I think before that's where they would have some of the medical cars, or so you
Mhm.
couldn't cut across that. You had to go around it. But now it was more open because there's a team there. Something like that.
yeah, and you could see it on the onboards. They were cutting the start of the pit lane
Hmm.
quite aggressively, and then the exit
Yeah.
they were
And the
going
exit.
straight across. I mean, the only one who didn't get a penalty was Antonelli, and if you watched his onboard going through the pit lane, I don't know if he'd been pre-warned, but he was very studious to like stay within the lines,
Mm.
basically.
Well,
Apparently
some
they were
drivers were warned during the race, weren't
told.
they?
During practice, I think they were told that it could be an issue, but I don't think anyone expected it to be.
Yeah. Lance Stroll binned it into the barriers, and Sky tried to give him an out, saying it was because he was on the track surface, and he was just like, no, no.
Yeah, I know that
So
was
it's a
brilliant.
crap car. I crashed a crap car. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
right.
I actually
Look,
thought it was a track surface, though.
yeah, so
yeah,
do I. But he just didn't. But Leclerc said the same thing, pretty much, didn't
I
they?
know Leclerc really put Brembo under the bus, but
Yes.
if you watch, his front, the both of them front left tire gets a load of debris on them as they're turning in.
Hmm.
That can't be good. I'm no expert, but
yeah. I mean, did that really need red flagged? Was the other question because they didn't repair the track. They just sweep the loose bits off.
okay. If it was repairing the track, I think yes, but could it
I
also be
think
to do with barrier damage as well? I don't know.
no, I think the red flag was warranted purely because did have to go and inspect the track to see if it needed repairs. But also the way that they had to clean it up was putting a sweeper out there, and you can't really do that with cars driving around. Although they could go through the pits, but it's still quite tight there.
Anyway, the red flag was interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, it gave me a bit of hope that Lewis Hamilton might jump Antonio at the start and we get a proper race,
Hmm.
but we didn't.
Yeah.
And like these cars are smaller than the previous gen, and no one could still overtake.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
anyway, when someone tried, Carlos Sainz got punted twice in two corners. So
I would say that if you look from a certain angle, it looks like Science cuts back a bit too aggressively, and I felt a bit harsh for Hulkenberg.
Both, but also I think that Russell was just being a
he was
well,
backing them up, was
Oh,
it?
he was, wasn't he?
yes,
Yes, I'd completely forgotten about that.
he was because it's fair enough if you want to back someone up, but that just seems ridiculous because cars were three abreast going into the hairpin because he was driving so slowly.
Why? What was the incentive to back everybody up? I can't
If
remember.
he backs everyone up, then he can then put in two or three really quick laps to get back his penalty at the time.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah.
So he could serve his penalty and still come out was the plan. It didn't work.
No, no, he still finished 12th.
Hmm.
Um, didn't Cadillac get a point and then no longer get a point? What
Yes.
happened there?
Um,
Perez got a penalty. Two Perez
yes, that was
penalties
it.
here. So there was one. I think was it Colapinto started from the pit lane. Someone started from the pit lane, and Perez just lined
Bortoletto.
up. Bortoletto, sorry, yes,
Yep.
and Perez just lined up on the grid in his
Yes.
spot, one row
Oh
ahead of where he should have been.
God.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Sergio.
elementary. So he got a penalty for that, and
Hmm.
then, which I think he served in the race. I think it might have been a drive-through.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Then at the one of the red flags, he stops in the right box, but he's over the front of it. He's like a whole axle ahead of it.
Hmm.
Oh God.
So then he's finished the race in 10th, gets a penalty afterwards.
Yes.
So Fernando Alonso got a point.
Yes,
Yes. Amazingly.
it should have
Yeah.
really been Perez. That's Cadillac's only chance, and he's messed up twice in the same race there. So not
Hmm.
acceptable, I don't think.
Yeah. Where would he have
Sad.
finished without the first drive-through?
Yeah, right.
The other thing.
Yeah. Ah well. Maybe another time. Right after those two races, Antonelli leads away in the championship, but he is only 41 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton. And I'm loving these
Surprised.
past two races of seeing Lewis Hamilton sort of back to his
Mm.
best. I mean, we wasted 3 years of prime Lewis Hamilton in those fucking shitty ground effect cars that he
Yeah.
couldn't drive. Now he's in proper cars. He's fun to watch again.
Hmm.
And you could say on the radio at Spain, he was loving the chance of a fight. You could hear
And
how
the
excited
engineer.
he was. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You could. There was a nervous energy, wasn't there?
Hmm.
Yeah. Fantastic. So yes, Hamilton's probably in the championship fight now, especially if Ferrari's pace is
Don't
true.
say it.
Shush, I'm getting excited. George Russell is 50 points behind Antonelli, so still in the fight, but two wins behind. Leclerc's on 75 points, so he is 75 plus 81 points behind Charles Leclerc, behind Antonelli. So maybe just about hanging on. But if we got a freeway fight now for the next few rounds till the summer
Hmm.
holidays, that would be superb.
Yeah. And I think anyone in the top seven can still potentially come back, but it's not really very likely. It just depends on if one team suddenly leapfrogs the others.
Well, Nick, I think you and I are in similar boats because in our predictions, both of us predicted Leclerc to win the title and Ferrari to
Mhm.
win the constructors. So
Yes. Come on.
we're both hoping. We all predicted Cadillac to finish last in the constructors, and that's it's not. It could have been a slightly, what's the word, prevented if
Hmm.
Perez could park his car properly.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, so bad.
Yes, and we all predicted first driver replaced. Myself and Tom went Colapinto, which doesn't look like it's happening now.
It's going to be
Nick, yes,
Bottas.
yes. Your shout of Alonso, I think, is still fairly
Oh yeah,
possible.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Come on,
So,
Yuki.
next up is Austria, 28th of June. It's a standard race weekend as well, so no sprint, but we'll have all the Max Verstappen fans there for that one.
Yes, to watch him go piling into someone in turn three.
I don't know. Do you not fancy a win?
Possibly, but he's going to do it at some point. He always does there.
Yes, and then following Austria is the British Grand Prix. Oh, we should say this was the first time since the 60s we had an all-British podium.
Yeah, that's very true.
Lewis, Russell, and then Norris third. So well done. Very patriotic.
Mm,
Okay, that does for the Formula One, and we'll move on to the touring
yeah,
cars now.
sounds good.
Which, of course, we're a week and a bit late for that, but it was probably the second best track on the calendar in Oulton Park. Bit of a comeback for Ingram, I think, because they
Mm.
had a pretty torrid weekend prior to that, but results this week just keep him in the hunt. And Dan Camish as well, who we had all, I think, soundly written off after Snetterton,
Yep, back in it.
back in it as well.
Mm.
It's really important for this to be more than a two-horse race this year. So let's hope.
Mhm.
No, listen, Aston's an amazing driver, a great team. I wouldn't befall bad luck on anybody, but let's hope he has some bad luck and then it really tightens up a bit.
I wouldn't wish it on anyone, but I really hope it happens.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so qualifying. Aaron Taylor Smith stuck it on the qualifying. Is it qualifying pole? Or is it
Uh,
Yeah,
qualifying fastest man
I know,
thing?
it's so weird. They do keep saying you've got pole or you've got pole to get pole. So,
Yeah. So ATS, again, an unimpressive
surprising.
outing from Laser Tools.
mm.
Then into the qualifying race for pole. Is that right,
The race
Alan?
to pole.
Yeah, the race to pole.
I hate
Class.
that though. You can say qualifying race though, and I think that's fine.
Yep, that works for me.
Yes. And this is probably where Laser Tools weekend started to fall apart. Um, Shedden got a puncture, and then we had the safety car restart after I actually watched this. First time I've watched the
Yeah.
qualifying race. Nick Hamilton went off in a slightly strange crash going down to the hairpin. He was off with big
Mm.
damage. Safety car restart, and ATS picks himself up a penalty for weaving in a part of the track you're not supposed to weave in.
It seems like a daft rule, but if you know everyone else has managed it,
Yeah,
Yes.
you can see that every other car is line of third, and he's like doop, doop, left, right, left, right.
hmm
Bit daft.
Yeah, it was. And apparently this is not a particularly new rule either. And he literally says, I didn't know that was a thing. So
Well, he must do, otherwise he'd get a penalty every race.
yeah, but the thing is he's not the one leading every other
Yes,
time.
of course, yes, right. Yeah.
Mm. When you're in the pack, you tend to just follow what everyone else is doing. When you're at the front, you're setting whatever's happening. So
Inexcusable though.
yeah, should know the rules.
yeah, it's not great, is it? Not great. It's a shame because he won this race and he was driving pretty well.
Mm.
And that kind of started. I mean, he dropped to fifth, so he still had a decent enough starting position. But these weekend was just a mess from there on. Dorlan picked up a penalty for a robust move in the qualifying race to pole thingy on one of the laser tools.
I think it was Shedden. That's what caused. I think you said it was a puncher, and the commentary did. But
Yeah,
in
it
my
was.
opinion, I thought it was suspension breakage. But there we go.
Yeah, it was quite a hard hit as well, wasn't it?
It's just right when he's on the lock as well. So
Yeah,
wheel to wheel.
it wasn't a bad overtake, but it's just because he hit the curb while doing it. I don't
Yeah.
think the actual overtaking maneuver was too bad. It's just
Yeah.
once you hit the curb, you're going to smash into him.
Yes, and we then saw our two title protagonists come to blows towards the end of the race.
We want to see this
Yeah,
more often.
Mm.
well, we've seen it a couple of times, and it seems to always be instigated by Ingram. That's what I've
Yeah.
noticed. This one, he hits the back of Ash into, was it the last corner?
Yeah,
Sent
Lodge.
him out wide. He did yield the position
Uh-huh.
I was
back
a bit
to
annoyed
Sutton.
by that though, because it causes a bit of a traffic jam, and no one else was
Yeah.
able to capitalize. And I thought, oh, if only double was slightly this way or that way,
Hmm.
it would have got through, but it didn't work out.
No, I mean it is good that he doesn't just take the place, but at the same time, it takes away from the needle that you want to see between them.
Yes, bump and run, I say.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
Come
that
on,
was
we need
another.
an old school Plato Neal argument here, because otherwise it's a little.
exactly.
I'm not going to say dull, but it's
No,
got
but
less of an edge at the
we
minute.
need like a Matt Neal sort of that push to pass going on.
Yep.
They're all a bit PR trained these days, aren't they?
Yes,
Hmm.
very much so.
Mm. Sam Osborne had a hell of a moment at the end of this race as well.
Because
I can't remember why.
Sam Osborne.
All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't remember why he went off. It wasn't really shown. I just assumed he did it himself.
Plus that change, just another weekend in Sam Osborne's life.
Yes. But so Dan Camish then takes the win because of ATS penalty. So he is on pole. Josh Cook, we're all slagging and writing him off
Yeah,
last week.
No, but this is typical. This is typical. He did the
he's
same
back
thing as
in the
Netterton.
championship hunt.
No, he's not. Qualifies okay, does okay in the qualifying race to pole, not a sprint, and then actually does okay in race one, mile spoiler, but then fades in race two massively,
Hmm.
Well, he was second. Um,
which is
Sutton
good.
third, Ingham
Sorry, Josh.
fourth. Dobo was sixth. Again, decent from Power Maxed. The other Nappas, we say Sam Osborne had a moment which put him last. And our driver to watch this year.
Yeah, Lewis Selby got a couple more points again. 14th place.
Not, are you sure he's not called Dennis Selby? What did we call him the other week?
I think I called Lee, was it Lee Selby I called him, or was it the other Selby? Is Lee Selby the boxer? I can't remember which one is. Yeah, Lee Selby's the boxer. So it was a snooker player I called him last week. Oh, what's his
I
name?
want to
I've
say
never.
Mark Selby now. I don't know if
I
that's
think you're
right or
right.
not.
Mark Selby. You're right.
Oh,
There
it
you
is.
go. But of course, it is Lee Selby. Not Lee Selby. What's his name? Lewis. Lewis
Yeah.
Selby. Yeah, there we go. WSR, I was disappointed with Raidford going so
Oh,
well recently.
Yep,
Qualified well down, which is a shame.
like a boost. I think it's only really your Napa Ford and the Hyundai. By the way, there's a really funny clip from Limmy. I watched today of him getting angry about how to pronounce Hyundai and Hyundai. Uh,
It's
like,
Hyundai.
well, no, now it's Hyundai, isn't it?
yeah.
It's
Hyundai,
But
not.
definitely.
It's
Yeah.
Hyundai.
it's more
I
the
owned one. I owned one.
I know it's
Mm.
more the fact that they have an advert that says, "Have you not kept up to speed with our name? It's Hyundai," and he's like, "It's so patronizing." Anyway, uh, the where was I going with
Dacia
this?
being Dacia. It's not. It's Dacia.
No, it's Dacia on that one. So in my opinion, only Ford and the Hyundai, with the great drivers, can overcome the boost deficit. I think everyone else is sort of up and down, depending on it really affects them more.
Yeah.
Your Cooks, your Rainfords, your Collards, et al.
Yeah, that's very true.
Ugh.
They're the only ones that I was going to say you can carry the ballast, but we don't have ballast, unfortunately. We have the boost.
As
You
a,
you did my least favorite thing in sports broadcasting there.
was it et al?
No, it was the it's like your Paul Pogba's and things like that. When you put an S into
Oh,
someone's name and try to make pluralize it, your Dan Camishes and your Ash Suttons. I'm like, oh, I hate that.
that is awful. I'm sorry, and I don't think I've ever done it before. Nor will I
Uh,
ever do it again.
Yes,
but
it's just
he
one of those
he
things.
didn't say Robo or Cookie, so we're fine.
Yes, true, very true.
Tingram.
But Tingram was happy at the start of race one because Josh Cook tried to take his old pal Ash Sutton off.
Mm.
I have no idea why that's not really a penalty.
Yes, and also why neither of them thought it was a penalty or Tim Harvey.
There was a vociferous defense of Josh Cook there. Ah, it's
Mm.
one of those things. There's not enough space. No, there wasn't enough space, and
Yeah.
Cook lost it twice
Mm.
in the apex. He's going too quick for the tire temperature at the time with a bit of damp patch.
Yes.
That's a mistake. It's a penalty.
Yeah,
Or
I'm with you
penalty
on that.
points on your license. And immediately commentary was, which I love, and I think they're amazing.
Mm.
I was a bit bemused as to why it was Josh Cook loving, really. Unless behind the scenes conspiracy theory time, he needs some extra sponsors for the next round.
possibly.
I'm going too
But
far there. Tinfoil hat.
the thing is, they interviewed both him and Sutton at different points, and both said, "No, it's just one of those things." And it's for Ash Sutton in particular. It's like I know he's your mate, but he punted you off the track.
Yeah, yeah. Again, it's the whole too friendly thing.
Mm.
Get some aggro going.
Was well held though, I have to say.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, yeah. Because he just has. He doesn't put that much lock on by looks things from the outside. Oh, it's the way. It's the timing he winds the lock off, which is the pro move.
Yeah, and it's
Anyone
also the
can sort of
fact,
floor it and put lock
yes,
on, but how do you control it at the end of it is the tricky bit.
but he's also got two rear wheels on the grass
Yeah, mega.
as he's doing it, and just think that should just come round no matter what you do.
Yeah.
He didn't really recover from that, did he?
No,
You think,
he started to.
and then just didn't. I think he finished what, seventh or eighth in the end. It wasn't your typical fight back you'd expect.
You never know if the tires have been sort of worn down excessively in that maneuver.
Well, I think he was fighting back until he tried the move on Morgan, and then he had to cut across the grass and lost a couple of places, and then couldn't get them back again.
Ah, I'd forgotten about that. Yes.
Yes, the downside of doing a podcast a week late, you tend to
Mm.
forget. What we don't forget about is Lewis Selby being in it, trying to
Yeah,
get past.
poor Mark.
Was it? Yes,
Dennis.
it was one of the Scottish drivers, wasn't it? Was
It
it now?
was Dexter.
Yes, I remember it was a Scottish one. I don't know. I don't know if there's anyone to blame in this, but he was trying to make a move and
Mm.
there wasn't really a space, and he tried to find a
Ah,
space. Or do you guys think that Dexter moved over on him?
I'm definitely more on the moved over on him camp
same.
Hmm.
because yeah, it's not. You can say there's not room to do it, but if you are alongside there, then you've got the inside line for the corner, and he's miles away from the corner.
Also, Dexter's gone wide, hasn't he? The corner before, and he's moving across
Mm.
to sort of. It's a conscious effort to be that close to the right,
Yes.
and I do think there's an overlap. Oh, what I would say is, in some slight defences, the road isn't exactly straight there, is it?
No, that's true.
So from that camera angle, I don't know. We'd have to see some other angles, but my initial judgment was, why isn't that a penalty?
Hmm. There was actually quite a lack of penalties this whole weekend, wasn't there?
I've got another opinion on that. It's my theme for the week, but we'll get to it in a minute.
Go for it.
Well, I just think that there's the rule now for the last couple of seasons where if you're on the outside of someone or on a corner exit and you're coming past them, you leave a car's width.
Hmm.
And it never has been that before. And if you watch Australian supercars at the minute, it's certainly not there in that series.
Hmm.
And it's quite interesting, but it can be quite frustrating because you don't think, oh well, here comes the move, they're going to push them off wide. So I can see both sides to it. But certainly, if you're Aaron Taylor Smith or Daniel Rowbottom, you can do that to anyone at any point, and it's not penalised in the slightest, as far as we can see from the BARC website.
Yeah.
So other drivers are leaving space, but now, actually, do you know what? I would say that Chilton and Rainford had a bit of a ding dong, which we talked about in the last podcast, and neither of them leave space on the outside of a corner there. So to me, if I'm another driver on the grid, I would see those examples. Taylor Smith does it a couple of times to De Leon, I think, in this race or maybe the next
Mm.
race, on the coming out of the exit of the hairpin, and Rowbottom does it, I think, the hairpin and at the chicane to someone. So I would argue, I'd just drive like an idiot, like pushing everyone off on the exit of corners, and say, well, you didn't penalise these, and these, therefore there's nothing you can do about it, and then let's bring
Mm.
back the harder, tougher racing.
Yeah,
End of rant.
I'd agree with that. Close brackets.
But we noticed this. I can't remember who it was at the Brands Hatch round that someone was doing it already. It might have been Rowbottom actually.
Probably. He does have a habit of that.
And while we mentioned Rowbottom, can we just say another weekend of not amazing pace from the Plato Racing folks, and we've gone to old Plato habits of blaming about straight line speed. I don't know if you've noticed this.
Oh, did we not have a
Yes.
sweepstake on this? Was that this year or last year? We had a sweepstake one year for
Oh,
the
it was.
first time.
I think it was last year.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, Adam Morgan was going okay in this race until his car stopped,
Mm.
Yeah, that doesn't help. Yes, true.
which is a bit of a shame, I guess, if you want him to do well. But you're right, that first race promise is not quite delivering.
No.
However, Dan Camish is back, won this race, won it with the fastest lap, and he's put himself back in the hunt for the title with his teammate down in seventh, and Tom Ingram ended up finishing third in this one.
Yes. And oh, Mark Selby didn't finish at all.
He
That is
was
his new
knocked
name
out.
now.
Hey. Okay, race two, and the top three start on the hard tires, which, eh,
Oh, crap.
yeah, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the tires, but anyway.
No.
Sutton get a decent start. Cook loses position to Ingram, and then there is a move that really frustrated me. Now that you're just talking about people being
Mhm.
pushed off, and it was this defense from Tom Ingram against Taylor Smith round
I for,
outside the hairpin.
I've
He just
forgotten about
drives him
this.
straight off the road, and that killed Taylor Smith's race two. So he done okay
Mhm.
in race one, finishing I think fourth or fifth.
Mhm.
It was fourth, and that just spoiled his day.
I got slightly
Yeah.
confused with the races. I think this is one where Taylor Smith is barging off De Leon, and maybe he was inspired by Ingram on lap one
Yeah. More than
or
likely.
lap two.
Yeah. Well, ATS had a few um, naughty defences after that move, so you could
Mhm.
tell he was driving a little bit angry. He has Chilton well off on the run down to turn three, which he got a penalty for and was very, very close to a spectacular accident.
Yeah. I mean, I can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to cover it, but it's way too late. He's already alongside you there.
Chilton had a funny weekend where he could have got some great results, but as ever didn't.
Mhm.
So he speeded off in the race to pole qualifying race thing. I think on his own. I could be wrong there. Might have been assisted actually. Then here he's just wiped out on the fight back by ATS, and then obviously he has his own incident in race three, four, depending on how we count it.
Yeah,
He was very quick at this point though.
he was. Yeah, I thought he was reasonably quick all weekend.
Yeah.
I took him completely out of the points in this race. He was nowhere in the end. Now, the hard tyre runners, again, Camish done all right to finish third. Ingram, he's starting the hards, he finished
Yeah.
second.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Josh Cook, what the hell is going on there?
So
He
there was
went from second to 15th.
there was two things going on there. One is Cook's
Yes.
hugely disappointing.
Hmm.
Uh, he might have finished 16th on the road, and then did Taylor Smith get a penalty and fall behind him? Yes, I think
He
so.
did.
So he actually finished outside the points. And then what was very strange was ATS's vociferous defence meant that Camish and Ingram got a free pass to be on the hard tyres. I think Ingram passed Camish towards the end, but they basically worked together for the majority of this race. I was a bit
Hmm.
disappointed that Camish didn't fight that much towards the end, but I can understand why he didn't because of the hard tyre. So I think in a normal race with that ATS, they would have been swamped, but
Yes.
not to the extent of Cook. I mean, that's really bad.
Yeah, because I'm still. I can't. Or rather, I don't know if ATS had damage from the incident with Chilton. I'm not sure he would have done because there wasn't really that much contact. He just was pushing him to the edge, but he just seemed really slow after that point.
It was really, really slow, and he was driving on the mirrors, wasn't he?
Hmm.
One of these years we'll get a prediction of Josh Cook, right?
Not this one.
Um,
I would say
Not
this
this one.
just quickly as well in the ATS defence. I think there was a moment as well which saved Camus and Ingram, which is De Leon got up to behind Aaron Taylor Smith early on,
Hmm.
but because he was forced off, he then dropped another 3, 4 positions behind.
Yeah.
I think if he'd have got by, he was on the soft tyre and he was charging. I think he would have finished second. And then later on, he finally gets back to ATS and he pushes him wide again. And then finally, when he does get the move done, it's too late in the race.
Yeah, I would. It would be good if they clarified what's expected the driving standards now,
Hmm.
because you also they had the penalty for the move on Shedden in the qualifying race, which was supposed to say robust.
Hmm.
But I'm currently watching a GIF, which I remember seeing last weekend, of Rainford pushing Smiley out of the way, basically.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
But you're starting to see that more and more come back in, and
Hmm.
that was very harshly punished a few years ago. So
Yeah.
it would be good if someone came out and just said, as Tom was alluding to earlier, just crack on, boys.
Hmm.
Just go for it.
Because it is a very minimal contact, but it's a contact that means that Smiley cannot take the racing line through the corner and has to concede So it's not fair. But if everyone can do that, then yeah, crack on.
Yeah.
As long as it's not like what Plato used to do when he was driving the Chevy Cruze in
Mm.
2010. There's a great clip on YouTube. I think it's called "How Not to Overtake" by Jason Plato. It's a knockhill hairpin, and I think it might be Stephen Kane in the BMW in front of him, and he's just straight into the back of him for a good 50 meters before
Yeah.
in the braking zone. That is out of order.
hmm Yeah. But then it was always, well, they brake too early in front. I had no choice. It
Yeah,
was always the argument, which
yeah.
was never true, but that's always what was said.
No, they went too far the other way in sort of the noughties and the tens with the
Mhm.
driving stuff, with the driving standards. But recently it's been really strict, and then now it's been slackened off. And I don't know really sure if that's actually the case, or we're just being inconsistent.
Yeah. I think a lot of it they try and follow because F1 is the main motorsport in, sorry, the main sport in motorsport. They try and follow a little bit what the rules are there, but in F1, there's a good reason you can't push a car off to the side of the track. It's because it's open wheel and you could end up flipping one of the cars quite easily.
Hmm.
With touring cars, it's much less likely for anything like that to happen. You just get a bit of body rubbing or pushing the car off, but you don't get big airplane accidents.
Very true.
I will throw to you the camera that went flying and took out the camera platform at oh, where was it? Remember that? 10 years ago or something?
Was it the Emmerdale star at
Snetterton?
Snetterton? Yeah.
Yeah.
Snetterton.
hmm
Was it Adam
Yes.
Morgan?
No. It was
No.
that bloke who was an Emmerdale actor
Yeah, the
and
Emmerdale
did a
actor.
little bit of racing that I cannot
Aye.
remember the name of.
Kevin. Was it Kevin?
I think you could be right there, but
He's got a farming show now, which I don't watch either.
But you're right. You're right, Nick. It is very rare for that to
mm,
happen.
Fun fact, whatever he's called, he took me out in a sim racing race once in Bolton University. Fun fact. Kevin
No, s-
Butcher. Kevin Butcher?
no, definitely not. I'm sure it isn't.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look this up now.
I'm doing it.
right. To referring to race two, Ingram put a good move on Dan Camish to take second, but still, that was a first and third for Napa. Pretty good. Ash Sutton wins with the fastest lap. Good recovery for him after his race one toils. Chris Smiley was put on pole. Um, it was going to be Sam Osborne, but
Yes.
Taylor Smith's penalty screwed
hmm
that around.
And it was Kelvin
Fairly,
Fletcher, by the way.
Oh, Kelvin, not Kevin. Thank you.
Yeah.
it's a fairly exciting race three, shall we say.
Mm,
Um, Taylor Smith's weekend comes really undone pretty quickly. He loses it at turn one, wipes out
yeah.
Adam Morgan, and we get an early safety car, which, yes, pretty spectacular crash to start. And again, it was a strange one
Mm.
because I'm not sure still how he managed to lose it other than a cold tire.
Must
Yeah.
be just that, yeah.
I'm probably still annoyed from the last race, which we should say we haven't covered. Selby finished in 14th.
Hey, there we go. So safety car restart. Smiley does a decent enough job, doesn't he?
Mm.
Gordon Shedden's out as well. Charles Rainford. Does he take the lead at one point?
He does.
Sort of. He goes through the middle of them, doesn't he? But he's not actually. He's ahead in position, but Smiley's got the inside.
Hmm. Well, Ricky Collard gets himself up to second, and according to the internet, Ricky Collard might be in a bit of trouble in terms of his seat. So
Yeah.
let's just appreciate him where we saw him.
He did say at the end, post-race interview at this, that he's got one round left.
hmm May not be the next round either. We don't know if he's just said one round
Mm.
because the rumors are, is it, what's his name? And I'm going to butcher this one. Osamu Kawashima. And
Who was a long time ago linked, he did some Ginetta races quite badly and was
yes.
like a Speedworks Toyota reserve driver.
hmm
And this is very, very random. Very random. But his
Yes.
Facebook page says he's going to be accelerated for 2 rounds later this year.
Yeah.
But then the BTCC website doesn't say this. So this is all very odd to me.
Yeah. This came up in my Google feed earlier from a website that I've never heard of and I had no intention of clicking on. So I just did a little bit more digging on it and It seems to be that he has something in place, but the only real official confirmation is coming from him. Same as he appears to have been named as a reserve driver for Team Virtue earlier this month, but I also can't find anything official about that either. So, I'm not really sure, but we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, that'd be a shame because I'm enjoying seeing Ricky Collard back.
Yes,
He's the more enjoyable of the Collards to watch.
yes, and to listen
So,
to.
yeah, so Ingram makes progress. Chris Smiley's gone backwards at this point. And then we see another fairly spectacular crash, this time between our boy, Mr. Selby,
Mm,
and Mr. Chilton. Chilton, oh, he got a penalty for it, didn't he? So
he
he has
did.
been blamed. He bounced over the inside curb and slid into the side of Selby. I thought we were going to get a scrap here. Like, Selby got
Oh,
out of the car and looked like he was about to punch someone.
Yes, he really did.
And unhappily, it all ended in cuddles, which, like, don't get out the car looking like you're going to take a swing
Yes,
and end up cuddling the guy. Like, come on. If you're going to do it properly.
it
this
was
was no
unfortunate.
Jake Hill on Josh Cook, which is an old
No.
reference, but Jake was going absolutely feral. Whereas here, yeah, I thought there was going to be some aggro. The director was right to follow it, and then,
Mm,
but Chilton had admitted to it straight away and apologized about those things. A lot of arm waving.
yeah, because I don't think Chilton did anything particularly wrong apart from taking that curb a little bit too heavily, which unsettled the car.
Yeah,
It wasn't that he deliberately hit
exactly.
Selby, but yeah, it's clearly his fault that they've both gone off. So he gets a two-place grid drop.
It's quite a heavy hit in the wall for Selby.
Mm. Yeah, and he did hurt his ribs or flank, shall we say? I'm not sure exactly what it was, but he was
Yeah,
swearing on the telly.
it's a side on impact. So, yeah, it would have been a sore one.
Mm.
So, yeah, we got another safety car restart. This time, Rainford wins fairly comfortably in this one.
Mm.
Um, Osborne and Smiley drop, Osborne especially, but they are on the harder tyres, so
Yeah.
they drop like a stone, unfortunately. Cook makes a wee bit of a recovery up to P5. So again, on the soft tyres, that car was fairly decent. And Ricky Collard finished second with Ingram third.
The thing with Cook is it's not just soft tires. It's when now he's got boost again. So
Hmm.
it makes me think: is the car just slightly too slow in a straight line?
No, I think
No.
that's true, but
Mm.
yeah, it's just unfortunate.
Thurkston
Yeah.
next.
Yeah,
Mm,
and he's only 115 points off the lead, so it's all to play for.
yes. So we had five DNFs in that one, including our boy Selby,
Mm,
fortunately. And Nick Hamilton finished P12. Shout out to him. Good holiday points there. And yeah, Sutton was only ninth, which I think he'll be disappointed with.
mm,
Again, just not really making the fight through that you kind of thought.
Yeah, but it's okay. That keeps the championship interesting.
Yes. So at the front of the championship, it is now a 48-point gap between Sutton and Ingram. Camish is a further 12 points behind, and Rainford, well, looking, that race 3 win has kind of helped him a
mm.
lot because we're talking last round, he was kind of hanging there, and he's fallen back a wee bit now, but still in a decent position.
I just want to say a couple of things. I swear Louise Turkington, Colin Turkington's wife, was sort of still doing something with WSR, but I might have not
Quite
seen her
possibly,
properly. Yeah,
because they were entrenched in the team for so long. She probably does have some kind of role there.
good word. Yes, and then I didn't realize that Gary Paffett's working for Laser Tools. He's been a, is it multiple, at least once DTM champion
Yeah,
and a Formula One reserve driver for many many years.
yes.
So that's quite cool. And then the other
Hmm.
thing is, I keep forgetting my frame of reference for the point gap in championship is off. Because I would think 40 odd points, ooh, you've got to be within 40, towards the end of the year. But of course, there are
Hmm.
points now for the
Yes,
qualifying thing, Majig.
yes.
So the gaps don't have to be that close for to still be in contention towards a final
Hmm.
round because you've got 3.5 races worth of points effectively, or maybe a bit more than that.
Yeah. And the one thing I really want to point out, because we are at the mid-season break now,
Are we though?
I believe so, isn't it? We've got till
Yeah,
the
the
end.
end of July,
Hmm
25th or 26th of July is the next round at Thruxton.
Here's
hmm
my thing though. It's not mid-season though, is it?
Well, no, but it's the middle of the season, as in not the beginning or the end. Um, break.
It's the break, but there's 6 rounds to go,
Yes,
not 5. Yep.
yeah. But at this point, Ricky Collard is in fifth place, and how far is he ahead of Chilton? What,
A
45 points ahead of
lot.
Chilton
A lot.
in a car that he didn't test with until the last day of
Yeah. And,
pre-season.
and it only got half a day and has the wrong seat.
Yes, of course, yeah. He was barely in it. Didn't even have a race suit on the first day. So,
He's sitting on a booster seat as well at the moment, isn't he?
yes, in Senna Proctor's car. Sorry, seat, not car.
That booster seat's going to be like 14 inches tall, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because Senna Proctor's a big lad.
Mm. So, yeah, I hope we
So
see more of Ricky.
I do as well. I do as well. Right. Other championships. Teams is not very interesting. Napa's winning.
Hmm
Independent drivers, Doble's ahead of De Leon by 5 points. The independent teams, there's 1 point separating Power Max and WSR. Jack Sears, Dexter Patterson's ahead in that one by 7 points. And the Barefoot Trophy. I think we have a new leader, don't we?
No, Ingram has been up there, I
Uh,
think. But Camish has closed right in, as has Josh Cook. And Rowbottom has disappeared from the top after race one.
yeah, season nowhere now, isn't it?
Hmm
Oh well. So yeah, for a nice long holiday, 7 weeks or 6 weeks till Thruxton, where hopefully Josh Cook will win because Thruxton,
Yep.
that'd be nice. To round off, I don't know if you guys seen it. There was a Reddit post about a week ago about his touring cars from a user called Snowdoubts1325.
No, I've not seen this.
Um, and I had typed out a response to it, but I didn't end up posting it because I've got undiagnosed ADHD and I got distracted by something shiny. But he suggested 5 changes to the BTCC to improve it. So I thought
Oh,
we'd quickly end by
Oh,
running
okay.
through
All
them.
right. All right. All right.
yeah.
But suggestion number one, which I think that we'll all be on board with, is live team radio coverage.
Oh,
They
a million
used they
percent
used they used to
Mhm.
have it, and now they don't.
It's probably in the highlights,
in a
like
sizzle
the
thing.
pre-recorded things, that Murray
Yeah.
Walker used to do, where they looked like they were live, but he'd actually pre-recorded them in advance.
But there was
Hmm.
once, it was an Oulton Park round when Adam Morgan was in the Wicks Mercedes and it set on fire. The next round on from that, they had a highlights of team radio bits. I think
Mm.
even if it's not live in the race, it should be
Yeah.
somehow, I don't know how to do it, recorded and put on YouTube in between rounds to keep the conversation going. And it's a cost thing. You need different mics, blah, 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 blah. It's ITV's decision. I asked Alan Gow this on a forum years ago, and he said it's up to ITV. And you'd be
Oh,
surprised
yes.
by how little radio talk there is during a race,
I remember you
which
doing this.
I think is nonsense,
Yes.
first of all. Second of all, you've got 4 races to get at least the best of clips. And the
Mm.
third thing, and this is a huge thing, people just say, oh, well, Netflix has made Formula One popular. But the team radio in the broadcast has created personalities as well as Netflix.
hmm
You know,
Yeah,
when Formula
definitely.
One 10 years ago started doing more and more team radio, you know the engineers, you know the drivers, you become more related, you build a personality. Sorry, big rant, Colin, over to you.
Well, you kind of go into the next point he makes, which is he thinks the race week end format is tired. He says the 3 races are too is too much. Now they've got 4 races in the weekend. It's oversaturation. He proposed a sprint race and then a feature race, but you can still keep your qualifying race as well if you wanted. But a shorter sprint and then a longer feature style race rather than just 3 repeats with a
I mean,
reverse grid.
did we not try that a few years back a few years back? I can speak, honestly. Um, where was it at Donington? They did a longer race.
Snetterton, Matt Neal won it, I think.
Stetson, was it?
It was an anniversary race. Yeah, it was actually all
Yes.
right. But the thing there is that would mean no reverse grid race, and they're always fun.
hmm
It is a bit
Yeah,
stale, but this is one I'd skip, I think.
same for me.
Okay. His third point is the calendar. He thinks it's too stale. It's the same calendar for so long.
Hmm.
Championship's in good health, but there must be something else the championship could explore to change it up a bit, even biannually.
I
So,
agree.
Hmm.
but we've had a couple of tweaks. We've lost Rockingham. We've got a second round at
Donny
where was it? Donny.
Donington.
and Brands.
Hmm.
Haven't they
But
announced next year's calendar already? And that's like
the
a
same.
record, but it is all the same again. Yeah, and this is very
Yeah.
true. Now, I think it's very difficult to find circuits that have the right infrastructure and are popular enough. But just give me one random race at Pembrey, thanks.
Yeah, even just like I said, we got the alternative options at Silverstone, alternative
Yes.
options at Oulton Park. Um, I still don't think we can do Knock Hill backwards because it's not certified for touring cars, if I remember correctly.
Well,
But
TCR UK did a race there, so why
yeah,
not?
there was a reason that they couldn't do it. I
It's also
can't
just
remember
not as good
exactly.
as Forward. I'll just put that one out there.
No, but go to Knock Hill twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
No, it's like
Yeah.
when Formula One in COVID did the alternate bar in layout. Something
Hmm.
would be nice.
Yeah.
Well, I've been buying the drums for the past 5 years that I desperately want, and we do full Silverstone.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
so as a one-off or something like that, yes, I agree with them. But as you say, there's not many racetracks in the UK that they don't go to that are of sufficient quality.
Hmm.
No, honestly, I was being a bit stupid about Pembrey. I mean, they did it in '92, I think, was last time, but maybe
Yeah.
'93 actually last time. But it isn't up to snuff.
No.
But I look at Anglesey and I think that would be amazing for the race, but it doesn't have the grandstands and it's in the
Hmm.
middle of literally nowhere. And then you think Mondello Park and you think, well, they've got to fund the
Yeah.
travel to Ireland somehow, which is very difficult and we're in inflationary times. Anywhere
Castle
else?
Castle Coombe?
Castle Coombe is interesting, but
Dangerous.
it's a bit
Mm.
dangerous. Yeah.
Mm. But you forgot, I know they're not the best
Cadwell.
things, but we got other options at Snetterton as well, for instance. I
Well,
know,
yes,
just every now and then we've got 10
200.
rounds, but make one of the extra rounds in there, just a different one every year.
Yeah, yeah, totally agree. Yeah, it could be the alternate layout. Yeah.
Yeah. Alternate at Snetterton, alternate at Silverstone, alternate at Alton Park, and just mix it up a little bit.
In 2014, they did do the longer Oulton Park, and it was a bit dry, so they
It
immediately
was.
swapped it. But seeing
Mhm.
that banked corner is pretty cool.
It is. And I'm happy to see a mix. As long as you keep the island version,
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
just, yeah.
I mean, I don't think the series is too stale at the moment, but yeah, I
No,
think we're all kind of on board if we can mix it up.
yeah,
Hmm.
There's too many trophies, is his fourth point. He's like, there's so much at stake rather than just P1.
Mm.
There's independence, there's Jack Sears, there's so much. Um, that's kind of pointless. I was like, that was a part I did disagree because you need
Mm.
something for everyone else on the grid other than Ash Sutton and Tom Ingram to sell to sponsors.
100%. It's a sponsorship thing. Yeah,
Hmm.
you got Nick Hamilton on the podium. You've got
Yeah,
a trophy for
exactly.
Sam Osborne. It keeps everybody in the series.
We didn't mention Goodwood, actually.
Or the Birmingham Super Prix, but that's another
Yes.
matter.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So that's one I disagree with him. I think the trophies,
Hmm.
although to be honest, we probably don't realistically care too much about some of them.
No, we don't, but the sponsors do.
The
Yeah.
sponsors do. And this is a completely self-funded series. So if you have nothing to
Yeah,
sell to sponsors, you don't get a car on the grid.
yeah.
Hmm.
And this probably leads into his last point, which is presentation and branding. He doesn't like the fact that they're using like team names. Um, and he would rather that they used manufacturer's names. So rather than Napa versus Vertu, use Ford versus Hyundai.
Nonsense.
Says it makes it easier for casual fans and newcomers to pick a brand of car that they like, and it may attract manufacturers to back the
Nah,
series again.
nah. Nonsense, nonsense. Because yeah, okay, it would sound better. I do agree with
Hmm.
that, and it would be
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, we all want that, but realistically, the manufacturers are not paying a penny, so
Hmm.
the sponsors are paying. So the sponsors are not going to be read out. So what that's one dint on their justifications for entering the series. And the second thing is, you're then giving manufacturers free exposure for something they didn't pay for. So then why
Hmm.
would they pay? There's no incentive to pay if you're already getting it for free. So that's my opinion there.
Yeah.
Think I got a
And we
bit
haven't had that
impassioned.
since what?
The
Super
90s.
Tourists. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, occasionally we did get that Toyota Gazoo Racing who had no
you
direct
would.
involvement. It's all dealerships, isn't it, when we get these things now, rather than the
Yeah,
actual
yeah.
manufacturer.
Was it
However,
Cooper that someone phoned up to try and get a license for the car, and they were like, "We have a car where?"
yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
like
yeah, it was.
yeah. So some of the manufacturers don't even know that you're using their car in the race series.
Hmm.
Yeah, 100%. And I would say it is, it is when you have some of these stupid long names, it is daft.
It is,
But
but
you've got to put up with it, otherwise they're not on the grid.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's similar to point four. Unless the series is going to become funded in some way, you need sponsors. And
Hmm.
what was the weird one last year? It was I'm not going to go back, but there was weird names last year. I remember that. Um,
The powder brew monkey thing,
yes,
whatever it was,
gas monkey thing.
a smoky.
Yes, whatever it was. Yeah. So there's weird names, but they are necessary to keep the series going. So
Hmm.
I think in these 5 points here, we're all kind of on board with team radio,
Two or three. Yeah.
Hmm.
the calendar, if there's
Yeah.
anything you can do to mix it up. Race weekend format, I genuinely think
Yeah,
it's fine, especially if you're at the race. You've always got races to watch all day.
yeah.
And the trophies in Brandon, unless someone's going to come in and pump loads of money into the series so there's prime money to fight for, you need it.
Powder
Yeah.
Monkey Brewing Co. with Ezidoc.
It
That was
wasn't
it.
that far
Ezidoc.
off.
Did you ever get to the bottom? What is Ezidoc?
I think we
No,
actually
but
did on a podcast at some point, but it was very unforgettable.
this was Hamilton's team last year.
Yeah. Anyway, we've went longer than I said we would, but I saw that post and I thought it was worth a quick discussion from us. So,
I agree.
I mean,
It
we
was.
we make suggestions all the time about how the coverage can be improved, but it's probably a similar point to the teams is that ITV aren't going to do it out of the goodness of their heart.
Hmm.
They're
No,
going to
exactly.
invest the money that they need to get the program on air, but they're not going to go to spend a fortune on things they don't have to.
One thing I didn't
No,
notice is has the music been fixed?
I didn't pay
Oh,
attention.
I didn't notice, but bloody, what
I
was
don't
that? Did
think
we ever
so.
get to the bottom with what that
It was
was?
so bad. Brands, was it?
I think
Yeah,
it's just been there the whole time. We're just not noticing it.
Oh, I don't know. I don't
It's
know.
so generic and
Okay, next round I'll pay attention.
naff.
yeah. Bring me the horizon. That was a good one.
Yeah,
Um, okay, right. That's a long one. Will that do us? We've got
yeah, I
F1
think so.
next. That is the 28th of June, Austria, for the Red Bull Grand Prix thingy, whatever it's. Oh, it's not. It's called Lenovo Grand
Mm,
Prix, but it's at the Red Bull Ring. And then after that, we're at Silverstone, which,
yep.
oh, I'll be in Canada for both of those. They'll be on weird
Mm.
times.
You never know. We might be graced with Helmut Marko's presence at Austria.
Hopefully not.
Yep, that's
Did
what I was
someone
thinking.
not shoot him in the head and like he's completely out of Red Bull? Not literally, obviously, that was a figure of speech, but he is completely
Yes,
gone, isn't he?
I was thinking more as a guest or a.
Right. They're not going to publicly execute him as like a pre-race entertainment. No. But yeah, right. Yeah, that'll be a shame if he turns up. But
Yeah.
okay, that'll do us. That's plenty. We'll see you again in a couple of weeks' time for, well, it'll be up to you guys. I'll be in Canada.
Mm, yeah.
So Austria and Britain is the next two. So maybe see you then.
Enjoy.
See ya.